The lack of trade facilitation, which makes trading along the border lengthy and costly, is one challenge faced by men and women in CBT. There are inadequate infrastructures and services on transport, storage, security, forex, banking, and others that enhance vulnerability. There is limited access to financial services in the face of high tariffs, which restricts traders to informal economies. We know, for example, there's been a huge drive for village savings banks, and we know that those VSLs, women are having to access finance at interest rates of like 20% a month, which is 240% per year. And what kind of businesses would they be doing to be able to remain viable? There's limited market and border information, which makes it difficult for traders to tap into regional and local market opportunities, let alone exploitation by border officials who take advantage of the traders' ignorance through extortion and bribery. And in short, there's a lot of corruption at border posts. So the positive implications of the CFTA on Gewe. We know that by reducing tariffs, the CFTA will make it more affordable for informal traders to operate through formal channels, which offer more protection for women and men traders. And there was an outcry this morning that if governments are going to lose revenue through NTBs, how are they going to fund the public expenditure? But we can see that this is an opportunity for a lot of informal sector to become formal. And this leads to reduced tax evasion tendencies, which in the end contribute to public investments that benefit women and youth. So because of tax evasion, it means again there's an erosion on the government pace, and government will not be able to fund public services like education and health and road infrastructure. Its provisions on non-tariff barriers will help reduce the undue cost of running cross-border trade. It will facilitate for improvements in data collection on women's SMEs to inform public policy and programming. At the moment, because of the informal nature of CBT, there's a lot of guesswork in terms of the figures, trade figures that are contributed to by women in CBT. There will be employment creation, a reduced gender wage gap, because we want to engage in this process. We trust this process is going to be inclusive, and as it engages women and youth, that the negotiations are going to look at fair trade and also in terms of even fair employment conditions. There will be access to expanded trade opportunities. Currently, cross-border trade focuses on Mozambique, South Africa, Tanzania, and Zambia. Those are the key trading partners for Malawi. But today, the whole of the African continent, 1.2 billion population, is now available for trade. There will be increased access to training opportunities, to finance and markets. And these commitments that we are seeing in the agreement, it's really for us also to track and make sure that they are coming to fruition, so that Malawians and Malawian women, Malawian youth are benefiting from them. We can see a potential increase in e-commerce that will cut transaction costs and time that CBT spend away from home. There's a lot of traveling that is taking place in this kind of business. But in Malawi, we also experienced an unfortunate event last year when one of our women was killed at Beitbridge because of being exposed to road transportation and also insecurities at borders. And there are potential negative implications of CFTA on gender equality and women empowerment. Issues of theft of intellectual property. We did not discuss a lot of that today, and it's something maybe that needs to be on the agenda. The crowding out of domestic investments, poor working conditions that may come with extremely opportunistic transnational, national investments. We already know that transnationals from China are very much invested in Africa, bringing their own nationals to work in our countries, and those are opportunistic tendencies. How is the CFTA going to deal with that? The degradation of natural resources. Emerging market countries often don't have many environmental protections, and we know with the advent of climate change, there is a huge risk that we take if we are not going to protect our environment. The gender analytical recommendations, I will not touch on that. It's talking a lot about sexual and gender-based violence that is faced by CBT because of traveling a lot across borders. So because of time, I'll just leave this out. Okay, so this is the end of my presentation. Thank you so much. But one thing that I really saw as a gap was the issue of energy in the CFTA. What are the provisions? Because without energy, and even today our industry in the country is not growing because of our limited energy provision services. And my call to action, finally, is that we are trusting this process, that it will remain inclusive so that all these issues that we are discussing today will translate to actual benefits, particularly for women and youth. Thank you.